what my mom told me, that I was beneath no one.
Morant.
Stutter step in the lane, hangs, jam with the right hand. Oh, what a move by Morant.
Your first NBA contract.
It's kind of took me back to draft day.
Right now, make it hard on yourselves. Don't take the easy way out.
Defense to offense. Let's keep getting stops and running.
Morant with a thing of beauty. Jaren Jackson with a posterizing jam.
It's a good city. Me and my family very laid back, so we didn't want to be all in the mix of everything. This is my daughter. She's doing a lot of sleeping right now.
Don't sleep. He is the heavy favorite for Rookie of the Year.
I fell in love with basketball from being around it with my family. I played with some of the older guys. I think this what made me tough, because he didn't allow me to call fouls.
I was like, foul him all you want, just don't hurt him.
My workouts was crazy. After every drill, you got to jump on the tire. Obviously paid off.
Whoa! Morant tried to hammer one. This kid plays nothing like a rookie. What a ridiculous finish from Morant!
When I look in the mirror, I just see a dude who's been through a lot, faced a lot of adversity, but didn't give up.
Splits, three, Hornet defenders.
With 0.7 of a second to go.
Let's go!
The favorite for Rookie of the Year, smack dab in the middle of a quadruple header on MLK Day between NBA TV and TNT. Toronto and Atlanta here on the network. Then TNT has the Pelicans, Grizzlies, Lakers, Celtics, and the Warriors and Portland Trailblazers. And let's start with the Pelicans and Grizzlies. There figures to be lots of offense. During a 7-game win streak, the Grizzlies are one of the best offensive teams across the board in the NBA. Pelicans certainly put up points as well. What are you expecting out of those two when they get together?
Much of the same. You see a lot of Brandon Ingram scoring the ball. Lonzo Ball's playing better. Memphis, Valanciunas has been dominating a little bit more inside. And, you know, obviously the play of the young rookie, Ja, exciting play, and Jaren Jackson Jr. So I think it's going to be a lot of fireworks on the offensive side.
What's impressed you most about the Rook so far?
Ooh, he just got savvy. He doesn't play fast. He plays at his own pace. He doesn't get rushed. He just makes plays. And Valanciunas is living off. I mean, he got to give Morant half his contract. He's driving in there and dropping things off, and Valanciunas is catching and finishing. But the kid is just really, he just knows who he is. And he plays to his strengths all the time. You very seldom see him take really bad shots. You very seldom see him do things that where you go like, ugh, you know, what's he doing? You watch him play and you go, oh, good play, good play, good play, good. So he makes good play after good play after good play. And when he's coming at the basket, his ability to spin and cleverness with the ball and finishing around it, he's really, I really enjoy that kid. And then you add on top of all that, he's a freakish athlete. So every once in a while he'll do a dunk on you. But that team's playing well. And, you know, the Memphis is really overachieving from what I thought they would be due to him mostly, I think. And he's got something, he's got that something, man. And and it's hard to put your finger on it, but when you see it, you know it. And he's got that little special it that when you're playing with him, Brian, you're running the wing a little harder. You're doing some stuff because he's going to make the right play.
Plays like a guy who's been running a team for a really long time, among other things. Zion Williamson is expected to be back on Wednesday against the San Antonio Spurs. How does that affect Brandon Ingram, who's been on a little bit of a scoring tear here lately?
Well, it affects my television viewing, so I got to watch that. I was planning on doing something else, but no, Wednesday night, you're telling me he's playing Wednesday, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we think he's playing Wednesday.
Well, there you go.
They're targeting Wednesday.
I got big plans on Wednesday, which I'm changing, so I just got to know. I really like him. I just think he doesn't hold the ball. You know, you look at Zion Williams, he just plays. And if Ingram will just go out there and play basketball, I think he'll be fine. I think the only time you really having problems when young teams, whose team is it, who's the man, and these egos get involved. If they just put their egos aside and just go play basketball, they could really be a fun team. Because Ingram's added strength, he doesn't look that much stronger, but he's absorbing now contact and probably more used to the NBA too. You know, more used to getting into people's body and then shooting the ball off of some contact. But I've been impressed with him. His improvement has really been great. Getting Zion there should be fantastic. And those guys got to be looking at this like, hey, let's just be the really new dynamic duo. Let's see how good we can get. And they're both so young. So it's fun times in New Orleans right now.
Speaking of offense, or in this case, offense, The world champs are on a tear offensively during a 3-game win streak. All right, I'll stop my Canadian accent. They're averaging over 130 points a game on nearly 57% shooting, just under 48% from 3 over the last 3 games. And some of that has to do with the fact that they're finally healthy again.
Yeah, I mean, you get Gasol back, you get Van Vliet. Siakam back, and so now they're finding the rhythm. They have their pieces. And these guys, they all have championship pedigree. They've been here, they had it before. So, they're finally starting to find that, and it's starting to show in their play, especially on the offensive side.
Well, the Raptors meet a Hawks team that made a move last week to bring in former All-Star Jeff Teague back on the roster now, and this, guys, is one reason why. The Hawks are nearly 17 points per possessions better with Trae Young on the floor than they are off the floor. It's the biggest gap for a single player in the whole league. They're also about 9.5 points better defensively with Young off the floor, but that's another matter altogether. How important is it for a young team, regardless of the record, just to find some balance? And in this case, with Teague presumably coming off the bench, having a little more balanced attack all in all.
Yeah, it's just trying to get better. I mean, for a young guy, and look at Trae Young's put up unbelievable numbers. They've done spectacular things. But at a certain point, you got to win games too, and you got to learn how to win. And so, he offensively is a tremendous player, but he's got to get better on the defensive end, and hopefully Teague can come in and settle down a little bit. Teague plays a little bit off the ball, so can Trae Young. Maybe they can play a little bit of 2 guard and just change up. Collins has been good for him since he's been back. He's active, but they've got to start winning just more games and be competitive. And they got to. There's 2 things in this league: you can go play in this league, or you can win in this league. They're playing in the league, and everybody gets paid, and everybody gets everything, Brian. But winning in this league is way harder than playing in this league. If you have a little bit of talent, it's way easier to put up numbers than it is to put up wins. Winning consistently is hard, and they need to start winning more consistently with that.
You have to also think that part of that move is just having a pro who's won at a fairly high level in Teague's case, just in the locker room and there to help mentor, even if it's just by playing when Trae's not in the game in Jeff Teague. The league does it right. The Martin Luther King Jr. holiday is a celebration all over the NBA. Hi again, it's game time here. Great to have you there wherever you might be. I'm Matt Weiner. That's Kevin McHale right over there. Brian Shaw to my left. We'll look at the MLK Day schedule a little later on. First, though, the Pacers rolling their way to the road. Indiana won a 4th straight game on Friday night by finishing off a home-and-home sweep with the Timberwolves. Malcolm Brogdon stood tall as time grew short, hitting the tie-breaking bucket with 18 seconds left in a 116-114 win. So, back to reality. First game of a 5-game trip for the Pacers. They're in Denver against the Joker. And here we go. And the Joker was he was a scorer early in this game.
And, and that's why you have to scratch your head in terms of why they didn't go back to him more in the 4th quarter.
Up top, it's Mason Plumlee with the finish.
He will make you pay if he rolls so dynamically to the basket. If you don't tag him, it's going to be a dunk.
Big night for Domantas Sabonis to see him knock down the jumper. There's Jokic to the rim.
Tippy toe dunk.
Little defense to offense here. Torrey Craig with the block on Miles Turner. Normally it's Turner blocking, folks. Craig saves it, and on the back end, Jokic spins and finds Craig for the layup and one.
Nice pass by Jokic. Just a great defense starts everything. When you get blocked, keep them in play and get out in numbers. Good things happen.
This Denver team on a 3-game win streak coming in as well, and they led it by 6 at the half. Will Barton to Jokic for the floater. Jokic spins, gets another bucket to fall.
I like when he's playing like that. Everything's to the basket. And like I say, then you cut off him, he makes passes. He's just so effective down there.
Jokic had 30 points and 10 rebounds on the night. But the 4th quarter was the story. Pacers keep it close. Malcolm Brogdon knocks down the 3. Sabonis with the putback layup that tied the game at 95. First career triple-double for him, 22, 15, and 10. Doug McDermott, drafted by Denver, traded to Chicago on draft night, gets a little revenge in this game. 18 of his 24 in the fourth quarter.
You want to trade me? Take that.
Yes. Will Barton with an answer there. That gets him within a possession at 107-104. But here's Brogdon. Little punctuation on the back end. Wow. He goes for 22 and 8 assists. Indy put up 41 in the fourth quarter, which they won by 15, to record their first win in Denver since November 27th of 2007. Been a while. Pacers have 4 players with 20 or more for the second time this season. 5th straight win included McDermott's explosive 4th, and he spoke with Jeremiah Johnson.
The rim felt big tonight. The hoop felt big, and teammates did a good job of finding me, and just good to see some go in.
I'm looking at the box score at the end of the third quarter. You had 6 points. You played 9 minutes. You were 2 for 2 from the field. You hadn't gotten a lot of opportunities, but did you feel good heading into the fourth?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to remain confident no matter what time of the game it is and how many points I have. So teammates are believing in me. Coaches are putting a lot of trust in me, and it's just good to see a few go in. It's been a while.
I was listening to a lot of huddles. I felt like even when you were down early, it was a case of the shots not going in, but nobody was getting frustrated. What were the huddles like as you tried to build that comeback?
Yeah, we believed in ourselves the whole game. Shots weren't falling. We thought we were the better team to start the game, and we showed that. And we showed that it's a 48-minute game, and we played a really good second half, and got to give them credit. They're a great team, but we just executed late down the stretch.
Doug McDermott now with a career-best three-point shooting season. In fact, he upped his percentage by about 1.5 points just in this game, going 6 of 7. He's well over 44% right now. What does that mean to this Indiana team if he can continue filling that role?
Well, it's great for them because he will spread the floor. And when he can have a night like he had tonight where he was so efficient, 9 for 10 from the field, 6 or 7 from 3, for 24 points, especially to have that strong second half like he had. The Pacers hung around all night long and then were able to turn it over and take it home at the end of the game. But for him, the biggest thing I look at is a plus 20 while he was out there on the floor in the minutes that he played. And if he can play with more confidence and play like that consistently, this team, like we talked about, they defend, they're going to scrap and every single night. And if they can get that consistent play from him, they're going to be a tough out for anybody in the Eastern Conference. And I don't think anybody really would want to face them in the playoff setting.
He was one matchup problem for Denver. Sabonis was another.
Yeah, they had 31 assists as a team. Indiana did. Sabonis had 10 of them. So the guy has a triple-double tonight. And this is a big offensive rebound where he just pushed the guard out of the way when they're got it. But he had 8 offensive rebounds in this game tonight. And that forced Denver to go big. And once they went big, they're not as effective. And so, again, give to Sabonis all kinds of credit for hammering the offensive glass, making jump shots, and then just being consistent like this down in the paint. That was another big shot he made late in that game, that little jump hook. But his ability to get 10 assists and 8 offensive rebounds changed his whole game around. Yeah. So give him a ton of credit. Played very well and made Denver go big, like I said.
A tough loss for Denver, albeit without Jamal Murray or Paul Millsap in the lineup for this one. And Jokic put up numbers, finished with 30 on the night and 10 boards, but just 2 points in the fourth quarter on 0 of 2 shooting.
Brian mentioned it earlier. They didn't go down to him. I mean, once you establish yourself in the post, you just got to go back in there, and especially if you've got nothing going. They're getting hammered. Indiana's making everything. Denver's defense is kind of shutting down. What better way than to stop the game by going into Jokic, let him get fouled, let him get to the line, let him do his thing in the paint, and they get away from that all the time. I don't understand why. Throw it down to the big horse down there, let him go to work.
That was the old NBA, right? If it keeps working, you just keep going to it.
Yes.
Over and over and over again until somebody stops it. Denver's loss means they drop out of the 2 spot in the West, now occupied by the LA Clippers. On the other side, DeMar DeRozan kept one streak alive, saw another come to an end. We've got the Heat and Spurs coming up next.